resources gives us the ability, hear me now, to have electricity that powers everything from lights to respirators that people are dependent upon to live. These things power, hear me now, heart pumps and various things. And if you take these things away, people's lives will be lost. Don't you understand that coal is used? Coal is used to give us the electricity that we hear. You take away coal, much of electricity in America or around the world is gone. Gone. We need these things that God himself put into the earth for us to not look at, but to use. Some are even willing to offer up people to the so-called God Mother Nature. That is, they are willing to let people starve and to die of thirst in order to protect endangered species of fish and animals. Don't you touch a certain area that has these endangered fish. I don't care how hungry you are. I don't care how thirsty you are. They need that water. I would rather you die, they say. I would rather your children die of thirst and hunger than you shoot a certain animal for food that is kosherly clean. You understand what I'm saying? There are even others who commit acts of eco-terrorism by bombing auto dealerships and burning houses, sometimes killing innocent people in an effort to stop people from threatening the environment and wildlife. It goes on here in America, especially out in California. Eco-terrorists or eco-terrorists, they know themselves. They are protecting Mother Earth by sacrificing things you built and constructed and even people's lives. Some are even willing to sacrifice their own lives by hugging trees in an effort to prevent loggers from cutting these things down. They living up in trees. I ain't coming down. Okay, great. It's all about them. We'll get you down. One way or another, you coming down. But these people believe that by doing these things, they are protecting Mother Earth, offering and sacrificing things up to Mother Earth. And how in the world did it ever become known as Mother Earth? Now, don't get me wrong now. I'm all for being responsible caretaker of the earth. But putting the needs of the earth above the needs of man is ridiculous and sinful. We are each other's keepers. Hear me now. We must not so much love the earth above man that we're willing to sacrifice an individual to keep our plants green. Man has been given dominion over the earth, not the earth dominion over the man. We were put upon the earth to care for and to maintain it, not to cater to it or to worship it. Hear me now. Many think that by offering something up to the earth or by giving something to it, this will calm the violent outburst that comes from nature. If we change the way we live, if we reduce our carbon footprint, we'll no longer have global warming. They said the earth is heating up because of what we've done. I just heard on the news yesterday a report that it's projected that the earth is actually cooling off, and in the next 5 years it's going to get even cooler. How in the world, is that our fault that the earth changed its mind, go from hot to cold? These people who all think they have to offer up something to the earth to stop these massive hurricanes and huge storms and huge snowstorms and volcanoes erupting and earthquakes from happening. They think they have to give something up, offer something to the earth. These people are wrong. They don't understand that the earth is groaning because it yearns to be delivered. The earth is reeling back and forth because it yearns for the return of the Messiah who shall restore all things back to the way it used to be. The earth is moaning and groaning because of man's sins. It longs to be made right because the earth, remember, was made perfect. There was no volcanic eruptions. There were no earthquakes. There were no hurricanes and tornadoes that destroyed the earth. These things were non-existent. But when man dirtied it up with his sinful life and ways, then the earth began to rebel against the man. It was, in essence, heaving and trying to hack up and throw up man who dirtied it up. In essence, the world is retaliating against sinful man. And we thought we were something. We think we're something. But I believe the earth can't stand you and I because we reduced it. Hear me now. Not that it's a living being, but it's reacting. The nature is reacting to what we've done. And it is looking for deliverance. It is looking for a Messiah to return. Fools they are for every man. For man never seems to learn from the mistakes that he has made in the past. If Yahweh, hear me now, punished the ancient world for the wrong behavior and rejection of him, doesn't mankind think that he would also punish us for this same behavior? And if Yahweh punished Egypt, which is a type of the world, for their worship of nature and refusal to obey him, what makes the world think he won't punish us now? Fools we are. We are absolutely fools. We all know Yahweh. We all know what he stands for. But nevertheless, we continue down this path. There's a saying that if we are not aware of history, we will repeat history. In other words, we'll repeat the same mistakes that they've made in the past. And it seems like every single generation repeats the same mistakes that the previous generation made. You know what I'm talking about. You try to talk to your children about when you were growing up. You say, listen, when I was growing up, this is what we did. They don't want to hear you. Okay, Dad, we've heard those stories before. That was you. This is me. I won't do those things. Next thing you know, they're in the same position, in the same boat that you were in. All because they won't learn from prior mistakes. Fools we are. Is it okay if I call you a fool? Fools we are as far as humankind is concerned. Like us today, the Egyptians worshipped a man as a god, which is what many would do when the anti-Messiah comes. They will worship him as a god and worship many gods whom they ascribe to things in nature. And in order to appease nature's gods, these Egyptians, they also sacrificed to them. This type of behavior wasn't an affront to Yahweh because it was he who said in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 8, he says, I am Yahweh, that is my name. I yield my glory to no one else, nor my praise to any idol.